Truex, the Sports Junkie, and welcome to the MBS Fantasy Football Show, the Startem Sitem Show. We're going to help you with your lineup today. Of course, I got the homie from the West Side in the building, my dog, Kia. What up, bro?
Let's get one thing straight.
Oh,
Nah, I'm just kidding, man.
oh
Yo,
God.
shout out to the whole battle rap culture, man. But this is the Stardom Sitem show. But we're gonna talk some fantasy football today, man.
Big facts, big facts. Real quick, um, official inactive. Jacoby Myers is out and Taysom Hill is out, so you want to get them out your fantasy lineups for today. Officially active: Alvin Kamara, J.K. Dobbins, Gabe Davis, Hayden Hurst, Josh Jacobs, and Dawson Knox are all active today. So we want to get them in your lineups if if you feel like their injuries are not that severe enough to keep them out. So with that being said, we're gonna do something a little different today. I just told Kill that I put him on blast a little bit, but we're gonna start the show off with this. From now on, we're gonna go love, like, hate. And we're gonna start with the quarterback position today. Kill, who do you love, like, and hate at the quarterback positions?
Who do I love this week? I love Matthew Stafford today
It's a good
to
one.
start. Matthew Stafford going against Arizona. I think the offense got it a little bit together last week. And I like this direction where this Rams team is going. You know, they're getting Cam Akers involved, catching the ball from the backfield. Obviously, Cooper Cup. You seeing some Allen Robinson getting some targets also. So I love Matthew Stafford, a person that I like, despite how they've been playing after they got beat down by my Cowboys last week. I like Joe Burrow against the New York Jets. The New York Jets. Let's remember that team.
Okay, okay.
Um, who do I hate? Um, I actually hate Russell Wilson
Wow.
against the San Francisco 49ers. Wilson's been struggling a bit. Jerry Judy's been banged up. Um, and Wilson is right now ranked 15th, number 15th in fantasy football right now when it comes to opposing quarterbacks. So he struggled the last two games, man. So hopefully he gets it together. Like I said, Jerry Judy has some chest issues right now. Russell Wilson has failed to score multiple touchdowns in games against the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. So those are my love, like, and hate.
All right, my love. I'm gonna start with your like. Joe Burrow is who I love today. Oh man, the Jets did come off of an impressive win last week, but I love me some Joe Burrow today. I think he got to get things going. He said that he deactivated all his social media accounts. He's focused right now. Hopefully, it pays off in a dub and him playing well today. So I love me some Joe Burrow. Who do I like? This may be somewhat of a surprise, but I like Justin Fields today. Um, Justin Fields hasn't put up the big gaudy numbers this year so far, only 2 games in. But I think today versus Houston, I think we may get a couple of scores from Justin Fields. So I'm going with Justin Fields as far as like. And then finally, who I hate, and it's going to sound kind of crazy because this is the GOAT I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tom Brady. That's somebody I'm not loving today. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, possibly no Julio Jones. He hasn't been great
Mm.
offensively this thus far. So I'm thinking to myself, you haven't been great with Mike Evans. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. I'm going hate, man, on Tom Brady. I wouldn't want to start him. I would go in a lot of different directions over Tom Brady today. All right, let's get to the running back position.
Um,
We got one already. Funny boy Q said he hates James Conner today. Wow.
okay. A running back that I love today. Um, I am going with. I'm going with Jeff Wilson from the San Francisco 49ers today.
I hope you're right.
I think they'll get it together, man. Elijah Mitchell. I think you got Garoppolo quarterback. They're gonna try to run the ball more. So I love him. A person that I like. I'm going to go with David Montgomery against the Houston Texans. I think PPR type of leagues. I like David Montgomery in this type of matchup. A person that I do hate. Um, you say people say great things about this Buffalo Bills team, but when it comes to their running backs, you ain't gonna say much about them. You could say stuff about Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, but you ain't gonna say nothing about their running back because it's Devin Singletary. That's who their
Wow.
running back is. I don't think he's going to be just, they tried Devin Singletary, they signed Zach Moss, they drafted James Cook. I mean, best of luck to whoever has Devin Singletary starting.
Well, you ended with a name that was familiar, and I'm talking about Cook, but I'm not talking James. I'm talking Dalvin. That's who I love today versus the Detroit Lions. Dalvin Cook has not played well. He has not had over 100 rushing yards thus far this season. I think he goes over 100 today. I think he scores a touchdown, if not two, for the Minnesota Vikings. I love Dalvin Cook today. You need to get him in your lineup. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody has him in the lineup, but I'm just saying. Who I like, he's been activated today. And I think it's going to work out because you got Lamar Jackson next to him. I'm talking about J.K. Dobbins. I look for J.K. Dobbins today versus Miami. Not Miami, I'm sorry, New England, to have a good day today. I think J.K. Dobbins may go over 100. I know he's just coming back for the first time, but I think Dobbins has a good game today. Who do I hate? It's a guy that it's really his injury, but not only his injury, it's also the way he's been playing. He hasn't been great so far. It's been very lackluster. And I'm going Josh Jacobs versus Tennessee. Tennessee has not been that good, but Josh Jacobs hasn't been that good. And now he's has an injury. So I'm not high on him at all. I would get him on my lineup despite the fact of him being active today. Let's go to wide receiver, Kill. Who you love at wide receiver?
Who do I love at wide receiver? I am going to go with um, Brandon Cooks at wide receiver today. Um, week two, he only had 4 catches for 54 yards, but he did have 10 targets, though. He now has 22 targets this season. Look for Davis Mills to go to him more against a Chicago team. So I like Brandon Cooks as somebody that I love to start. Somebody that I like, um, a lot of people weren't high on this guy coming out the draft, but I was. I'm talking about Drake London, man. Drake London has been getting more targets than Kyle Pitts. um, he finished. He he has 13 catches, 160 yards, and a touchdown. He's at least has 12 fantasy points in PPR type of formats. So I like a Drake London, somebody that I actually like. A person that I hate, man. Um, I'm gonna go with um Elijah Moore against the
Wow.
Cincinnati Bengals. Moore has failed to connect with Joe Flacco. Flacco has been going more to Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis throughout those 2 games. Um, so that's a person that I do hate to start. Just a note, I'm not mentioning any of the elite receivers, or we're not mentioning the elite receiver because obviously it's very common and it makes sense that you got to start them.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Well, I'm gonna go with a guy that low key dog. He's starting to become elite, and I know it. I'm not saying he's elite yet, but excuse me, he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he's been balling. Last week, he was talking crazy on the sidelines about a receiver that was drafted before him again in the Washington game. I'm going with Ahmad St. Brown of the Detroit Lions. He scored in both games. He's caught over 8 passes in both games. This kid is balling right now. He ended the year last year on a hot streak. I think that streak continues today versus Minnesota. And I think Ahmad St. Brown may be one of those guys that we have to take notice and say, this guy is becoming a big time wide receiver in the NFL. So I'm going with Ahmad St. Brown. Shout out to Keenan, by the way. He's been high on this kid for quite some time. The guy that I like today is DK Metcalf. I think we kind of forgot about DK Metcalf this year because Russell Wilson's not there. They did win week 1. But I think going up against Atlanta's secondary, I think DK Metcalf can get in the end zone today. So I'm going to say I like DK Metcalf. And as a shocker to you, Keo, because I agree with everything you said, but I think he struggles today. I think Houston struggles today. I'm going with Brandon Cooks as my hate person. Even though he's had the targets, I don't think he's going to have a big game today versus Chicago in Chicago. I think it's going to be a letdown for a lot of fantasy owners today in that game for Brandon Cooks. So I go with Brandon Cooks as the guy that I hate today. Let's go to the tight end position. Who you love, hate? I mean, love like hate in the tight end position.
Um, you're gonna be surprised by this. I love Kyle Pitts.
I ain't mad at that.
Um, for he has not done well. And I don't think he's gonna go 3 straight games with having games like this. Only 4 receptions, 38 yards, 10 targets. That's not for a first round draft pick. All this hype around him. He could come on. They got to get him involved more. He got to get open. I think Pitts will have a way better game compared to his last 2 games. So that's who I love. Um, a person that I like, I'm gonna go with Gerald Everett from the LA Chargers. Hamstring issues with Keenan Allen. Um, he is on track to return this week against the Chargers. I mean today, and I got Everett as a top tight end this week. Man, he's averaging 13 fantasy points a game against teams like the Raiders and Chiefs. Good option for Justin Herbert. Everett, 14 targets on this season for 9 catches, 125 yards, and 1 touchdown. A person that I hate. I'm gonna go with Mike Gesicki from the Dolphins against Buffalo. You got to respect Buffalo's defense. Gesicki hasn't had gone off to a great start, only 4 catches for 41 yards. That's a guy that I would stay away from.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with the guy that a lot of people, was frustrated with this season to start because he's been banged up. But Jimmy G is the quarterback. I'm talking about George Kittle. I love me some George Kittle. I don't care who I have. Gerald Everett was my tight end. I'm benching him. I'm starting George Kittle today. George Kittle has Jimmy G throwing him the ball. Jimmy G loves throwing to George Kittle. George Kittle's a must start versus the Denver defense today, in my opinion. And the person I like is Tyler Higbee. Higbee, surprisingly to a lot of people, has been very good, but Higbee's always been very good, in my opinion. I think Higbee versus Arizona, that could be a shootout, so I'm going to say Higbee as far as I like. The guy that I don't like is going to come as a surprise because this team has scored so many points this season, but I think the injury is my concern, and that's Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox hasn't been the tight end that a lot of people thought he was going to be coming into this season, and I think that he struggles again today because of the injury, so I'm not going to start Dawson Knox. I'm going to go ahead and look for a better option at the tight end position if I have something else. So I'm going with Knox as far as the hate. All right, Keo, I know you're going to like this one, what I have to say, but let's get to the defense, man. Who you love, like, and hate at the defense?
For the defense, defense for this week, defense that I do like. Um, I mean, I'm definitely not gonna. I'm going with Cincinnati against the New York Jets. That's a defense that I love this week. I'm not too high on the New York Jets. They got away with a win against Cleveland. Yeah, was it Cleveland? Yeah, it was Cleveland the other week. That's a defense that I love. I think this defense will bounce back today and have a solid performance. That's a team that I love. Um, a defense that I do like. I am going with the man. I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys, man. I think the Dallas Cowboys they've been having s- they've had some solid defense performances. They held the Bengals in check. Despite the loss, they held the Tom Brady and the Bucks in check also. So I like this for the Dallas Cowboys as a defense that I would like to start. Now, a defense that I would hate to start, I'm going with the Washington Commanders against the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia's looking pretty good these last two games, 2-0. Um, but Washington, man, that front seven, man, they could turn that switch on anytime. So those are the defenses that I would suggest.
Okay, well, the defense that I love is the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, he likes that.
Yeah.
I love Dallas this week, man. I think that Daniel Jones and the Giants, yes, they're 2-0, but that's a fraudulent 2-0 team in my mind. And I think Dallas is going to take advantage of that team. So I'm going to say Dallas as far as the team that I love. The team that I like is Chicago. I said it. I think Chicago's going to give Houston a lot of trouble today. I could be wrong, but in Chicago, I think Chicago balls out defensively, and they even get the dub in that one. So I'm going with Chicago. And a defense I do not like, I hate them for today, is the New York Giants. I think the Giants struggle, man. The Giants is not a defense that you want in your lineup, despite Cooper Rush. If you'd have told me Cooper Rush was the quarterback, oh man, I'm starting that defense. Last week I started the Bengals. Rookie mistake, I guess you could say in the words of my boy DNA. Rookie mistake. That wasn't good. But I do think that the Giants struggle, so I'm going to say that the Giants is the defense I'm staying away from. All right, the kicker, last position. Kicker, who you love, like, and hate.
I love Greg Joseph from the Minnesota Vikings. Struggled in week two. I think he'll bounce back against the Lions, man. He's made seven field goals on eight attempts. So I like Greg Joseph. I love Greg Joseph to start. A person that I do like. I'm gonna go with Dustin Hopkins as a that I do like going against Jacksonville. Um, and I think they'll put up a lot of points in this game. A kicker that I do hate, man. I always like to start this guy normally, but I'm gonna say stay away from him. And I hate Mason Crosby. Um, he's finished with just two field goals, three PATs. Green Bay just allowed just two field goals and one PAT on the season. And Crosby, I don't think he's worth starting in leagues right now.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, y'all get y'all questions in. What up, Wes? What up, Wes? I see you, man. What's going on? But get y'all questions because we're about to answer the social media questions. As far as the teams that I love, the kickers that I love, I'm going with Evan McPherson. The rookie, well, not the rookie no longer, but last year's rookie at the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Bengals scored a lot of points today, so I'm going with Evan McPherson versus the Jets. As far as I like Matt Gay. I think that's going to be a high scoring game versus the Cardinals. I think Matt Gay may hit a couple of field goals in that one, a few extra points. He's going to get you some good solid numbers at the kicking position. But the guy that I do not like, but I actually like the guy, but I don't like the matchup this week, and that's Graham Gano of the New York Giants. I think he struggles versus the Cowboys today. I think that, well, not today, but you know what I mean. I think the Cowboys just take advantage of that team. So I'm going to say that Graham Gano is the guy I'm staying away from. All right, Keo. Let's get to the Startem Sitem portion of the show, my guy. I'm gonna name three people. You're gonna tell me if we starting them or sitting them. You name three people. Tell me if you starting them. I'll tell you if you should start them or sit them. Who you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, would you start or sit? Um, would you start or sit Tom Brady?
Yeah, well, I said it earlier. I mean, I'm not. I don't Brady today. I would actually sit Tom Brady. If I had somebody like Tua, I would start Tua over him. I would start Fields over him. And I know that might sound crazy to some people, but I would. I would start a lot of people over Tom Brady today. There would be a lot of people I would start over Tom Brady. Matthew Stafford, you mentioned him, Burrow. All these guys I'm starting over Tom Brady today. I think Tom Brady with his weapons. It's not Tom Brady, it's the weapons that he has around him that is going to struggle. I would actually sit him. We're gonna set the quarterback position. This guy's coming off of a game where he threw for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. He looked like maybe vintage. I'm talking about Joe Flacco. What are we doing, man? You starting to sit them versus the Bengals.
I'm sitting him.
Wow.
Um, I think the Bengals defense gonna show out, man. I think he's gonna turn the ball over, fumble the ball, throw a couple interceptions. I think he'll have a very bad day, so I would definitely sit him.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Next guy I got up is I'm going with Chase Edmonds against the Buffalo Bills.
Chase Edmonds. You know what? I'm gonna start Chase Edmonds as a flex. I think that the pass rush of the Buffalo Bills, you're gonna have to throw a couple of screens. He'll catch a couple of screens. He may even get sneak into the end zone. So I'm gonna say you start him as a flex position. I'm not mad at that. You went to running back. I'm going to running back. A guy with a lot of hype coming out of Clemson. A lot of hype. Got injured last year, but so far this season, everybody was high on him, and they was kind of like low on James Robinson, super low. ATN has yet to have double digits in scoring in fantasy this year so far in the first 2 weeks. Are you starting or sitting Travis Etienne?
Man, I would start him, man.
Wow.
So far James Robinson has outplayed them in the two games, but I don't think it's gonna continue that long. Um, I like I said, I would consider him in the position right now. That's the best I could do for you guys. I wouldn't put him at a two or a one. The only way I would put him is at a two is if I'm playing in a very deep 16 team type of league. So I wouldn't go that far as starting him. Like I said, James Robinson has been playing way better than him.
Okay. Your turn. You up.
All right, my last guy that I got up, Green Bay Packers wide receiver Alan Lazard.
Ooh. I'm starting him. I'm starting. He can get a touchdown in this game. I'm gonna start him as a flex position. It's not a bad position to play. Sammy Watkins is out. I know Alan Lazard was banged up. I think he's gonna play today. He's gonna give it a go. But yeah, with no Sammy Watkins, that's just another target that you're gonna steal from. Even though he wasn't getting big targets, I'm gonna say go ahead and start him. All right, Keo, I got one. Shout out to West, man. Hold it down. Hold it down. Um. I said it, man. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no possibly Julio Jones, and then Perriman's nicked up. Are you starting or sitting Scotty Miller? Oh, Scotty!
Bad. No, man, I'm not starting
Oh,
him, man.
wow.
No, I'm not starting him, man. I just don't think he's gonna come through for you. I think those type of situations where you're in, you got an injured player that you have, and then you pick up the guy that's going to be behind them. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, man. And I don't. I think these are one of the times where it's not gonna work out. So I'm sitting him.
Okay, okay. Well, let's get to this real quick, man. Pick Miller and Beasley up. I ain't mad at you. That's some good pickups. Cole Beasley is with Tampa Bay now. All right, Kyo. What's gonna be the highest scoring game of the day?
The highest scoring game of the day.
Yeah.
Um, if I had to pick, I'm gonna say the Colts versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that will be the highest scoring game of the day. I think those two are due to have a good scoring output. Colts, embarrassing what happened to them last week. Pitiful. And then the the Chiefs. You know what the Chiefs gonna do, man. So I think they're gonna definitely be. It's gonna be a good scoring game for them.
Okay. Shout out to Wes. Wes is saying Rams Cardinals. I think that could be definitely the highest scoring game. But I'm going with the two teams that's been explosive thus far. I'm going with the Bills and the Dolphins. The Bills are without Hyde this week. They had to put him on IR for right now. I think that could be a big, big loss for them in the secondary. So I think the Dolphins can expose them. They're starting a lot of rookies. They're starting young players in that secondary. I think that could be dangerous going up against Waddle and Tyreek Hill. But I think that's going to be the highest scoring game today. What you think is the lowest scoring game of the day?
Lowest scoring game of the day, man. It's gonna be the Raiders versus the Titans.
Wow.
That's gonna be the lowest scoring. I don't think the Raiders are gonna still get it together. I think they're gonna struggle in this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee beats them. Um,
Wow.
yeah, man, I was completely wrong about the Titans against the Bills. They got they got smacked around like they stole something, man. So
Yeah, that's that. I don't know what you was thinking either. Okay. But I'm gonna shock y'all with this one. In a sense, I know y'all if you've been following along through the show, you know where I'm kind of going. If you would have told me maybe 2, 3, maybe even last year that these two quarterbacks would be going up against each other, and I'm talking about Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, there's no way I would say that was the lowest scoring game. But for today, I do think it's a low scoring game. I think this game could be extremely low scoring. I can see a game like 13-10 where one of these teams win. I don't think either team gets to 20 points. So I'm going to go with the Bucks versus the Packers. And that's a surprise to me because that's two of the all-time greatest quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. Well, Keo, with that being said, let's get to social media. So if y'all have questions, I have a few people that just hit me up. I'm about to dive in. Keo, if everybody's hitting you up, let me know. But I'm going to get to these questions real quick, my dog. So let's see. I know my girl just asked me something. I'm trying to see. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right. My dog, let me start with my dog Jordan first. He wants to know Damian Pierce or Damian Harris. Who you starting?
um Damian Harris. I was never
Wow.
high. I was not never high on Damian Pierce. I don't know what people see in him. Obviously, you don't see nothing in him right now. So I'm going with Damian Harris.
Shout out to Bumpy, man. What up, Bumpy, man? I see you putting out that good content. Excuse me. But I'm going with Damian Pierce, man. You wilding right now. Damian Harris, he's splitting carries, man. What we doing? Damian Pierce, even though I don't love him today versus Chicago, Damian Pierce could get in the end
Yeah,
zone.
you never loved them the last 2 weeks also. So what you talking about?
I'm going with Pierce, dog. I'm going with Pierce. All right. My dog, he wants to know who you starting to flex. Brashard Perriman, Cam Akers, or Melvin Gordon.
Oh, Cam Akers, bro. I like Cam Akers in this one. I think he's getting some touches, getting him more involved. I think it's going to continue to get him involved. So I like the attraction that he's getting right now and the workload he's getting, and I think he's going to continue to get more. So I'm taking Cam Akers over all those guys.
Yeah, I'm with Keo on this one. I think Cam Akers is starting to find his way. I'm going with Cam Akers. That's a high scoring game. I do agree with Keo on that. All right, another Damian Pierce question. My dog Peyton wants to know: Damian Pierce or J.K. Dobbins?
I'm taking J.K. Dobbins, man. Like I said, I'm not high on Pierce at all. Dobbins, coming off an injury, looking fresh now. Out 2 games, and I think a solid 11, 12 type of points for Dobbins. That's a win for you. So I'm taking J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, and this one I'm taking Dobbins. If you think I said I like Dobbins a lot today, I think he can have a big game, so I'm going with Dobbins. Shout out to you, Peyton. All right, my dog Doug wants to know: does he roll the dice with James Conner at flex, or does he go with Juju Smith-Schuster, who I know you love, or Brandon Ayuk in the flex position? Who you starting?
Oh, you know where I'm going. I'm going with Juju Smith. I think Juju Smith will have a 15-point type of game, man. PPR type of league. That's a win for you. I'm definitely starting him. Like I said, I think the Chiefs and Colts are going to be a very high scoring game. So I definitely I'm taking Juju Smith. I think Ayuk will have a solid game, but I had to pick, I'm taking Juju Smith.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I'm actually with you on this. I like IU too. I think IU can definitely turn up with Jimmy G, but I'm going with Juju as well. Oh, okay. Henderson or Pierce in the flex? I'll let
I'm
you answer that. Shout out to West, man.
I'm getting tired of this Pierce nonsense right now. You know where I'm going with this. I'm going with Henderson in this one. Despite Cam Akers, like I said, I don't like Pierce at all, man. I never liked the beginning of the season, and I still don't.
Okay, well, Wes, I'm going the opposite way, so it's going to kind of confuse you because I'm going with Pierce over Henderson just because I feel like Pierce will get the boatload of the touches in Houston. And like I said, I always go off who I think could score a touchdown in the game. I think Pierce could get a touchdown. Shout out to my boy Bumpy, man. Flex, what we doing, Keo? Allen Robinson or Jarvis Landry?
That's a good one. Um, I'm gonna go with Jarvis Landry in this one.
Wow.
I like Jarvis Landry in this flex position. I wouldn't be mad if you started either of them. I think they would be fine, but I think Jarvis Landry is a go to type of guy that the Saints been going to. So I like Landry in this one.
Nah, Bumpy, don't listen to him, Bumpy. Don't listen to him,
Shut
Bumpy.
up.
I'm an LSU guy, Bumpy. I'm an LSU guy. That's
Yeah,
my guy, Jarvis Landry.
yeah.
Dude, what up? We from Louisiana. We gonna hold it down. They just retired your high school jersey. That's my
You
man.
you a
What?
LSU guy, but you picked them to go to the playoffs this
Hey,
year in
hey,
college
watch your
football.
mouth. It's not over. It's still early in the season. Watch your mouth. Okay, but as much as I'm an LSU guy, I gotta go with that Penn State Nittany Lion. For those that don't know, I'm talking about Allen Robinson, baby. Yeah, he went to Penn State Field. That was just a little dot I dropped on you right there.
So
Allen Robinson, I'm definitely starting this game. Keo said it was going to be one of the highest scoring games of the day. I actually agree with Keo on that. And I think Allen Robinson gets in the end zone again today. Again. All right, one last question, Keo, and it's not even a question. My homie B wants to know: will Ezekiel Elliott be big time? Will he get over 100 yards and a touchdown in this week's matchup? Oh, yes or no? Yes
uh,
or no? What
no, I
up, B?
don't.
I see you.
I don't think he'll go over 100, but I think he will score a touchdown. I think he'll get like the 79 to 87 yards type of rushing. but I just don't think it will be 100. Obviously, you got Tony P in there, man.
Facts.
Tony Pollard in there. He's been splitting carries over there, so I don't think he'll get 100, but I think Zeke will at least get a touchdown though.
I actually agree with Keo on this one. You're not gonna have a lot from me. You know that Ohio State Buckeye. Uh, it's been a long time since then. But yeah, no, I think Zeke doesn't get to 100, but then he does score. He does score. I think Tony P. If I actually had to say Keo, maybe I'm bugging. If one of them got over 100, I would actually say Tony P. And I'm not saying he will get 100. I'm just saying I would go with Tony P because he can break a long run that can get him close to 100. I don't think either one of them go over 100, but as a tandem, I do think they get over 100, and they might possibly both score in this game. All right, Keo.
Okay.
Well, with that being said, it's our favorite time of the show, baby. Here we go, y'all. Our stud, dud, and sleeper of the week, Keo. Who is your sleeper of the week?
My sleeper of the week, man. You're gonna be surprised by this. I'm going with Noah Brown from the Dallas Cowboys as
Wow, talk dirty.
as my sleeper of the week, man. I like Noah Brown in this one. People may think I'm biased towards this man because I'm a Cowboys fan, but Noah Brown, obviously he stepped up since Michael Gallup's been out. Dalton Schultz is out. And he's I think Noah Brown is a solid number two wide receiver behind CD Lamb. Through the two games, man, he's had 14 targets, 10 catches, 154 yards, one touchdown. He's scored at least 11 fantasy points a game in PPR format type of leagues. And if I'm in deep leagues, I would use him as a flex. So I'm going for Noah Brown as my sleeper.
Okay, well, we're gonna stay in the same game. As far as for everybody out there wants to know, I chose Gino week one. I think that's a good sleeper. Week two, I chose AJ Dillon. Subpar game, nothing crazy. My sleeper this week is Cooper Rush. I think Cooper Rush, he got that confidence from Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones said, "Hey, if Cooper Rush balls out, we may have a quarterback controversy." Dare I say, he might have a quarterback controversy because I think Cooper Rush plays well this week, and I think he has a big game. So I'm going with Cooper Rush as my sleeper of the week. Who is your dud of the week? Last
Oh,
week,
this is easy.
I had Derrick Henry. Who you had?
My dud of the week. I think I had. Did I have Josh Allen? Yeah, I did.
Oh God! Oh God! You should. Oh my God! You should have I forgot that.
But I gotta give you your flowers. You were right about Henry. You
God.
said he wouldn't hit 100. He was under 100. But my dud of the week, I got I got Russell Wilson, man. He's struggling the two games. I don't think he's gonna turn it around against a solid defense like the 49ers. Like I said, he's yet to have two touchdowns in the game. They're not running the ball really well. And he hasn't ran the ball well. He's and I just think it's going to be bad against a team like the 49ers defense. So I got him as my dud of the week.
All right, my dud of the week. I ain't gonna lie, low key. Probably most people are not starting them anyway. But I'm just saying it's gonna be bad. I think it's gonna be really bad, really, really bad. I think that you're not gonna get double-digit fantasy points from this guy, and he's a quarterback. That's how bad it's gonna be, in my opinion. I'm going Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones to me is going to struggle this week versus the Cowboys. I know Bumpy and you like that because I'm actually giving the Cowboys their flowers. But I think that they shut down the Giants. The Giants are a fraudulent 2-0 team. And all my Giant fans out there, don't be mad at me. I'm just telling you my honest opinion what's going to happen. I think Daniel Jones and the Giants struggle big time this week against the Cowboys. All right, Keo, who is Keo, stud of the week. Who was it last week, Keo, that you had?
I think I had I think I had Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I had Aaron Rodgers. But this week I'm staying in the NFC North. I'm going with Kirk Cousins, man. Kirk Cousins. I don't know what the hell happened against the Eagles. I guess he thought Darius Slay was on his team, and he decided to throw three interceptions. Finish only with 10 fantasy points this week. I think he'll have a bounce back, and he likes facing the Detroit Lions. Past five meetings, he's averaged almost 300 yards a game, 11 touchdowns, and only one interception. Three of his past four games, Cousin has at least scored 25 fantasy points or more. Um, and then you got some guy named Justin Jefferson throwing the ball. So, what can actually go wrong with that? So, stud of the week, Kurt Cousins.
Okay, I'm not mad at it. Last week I had Matthew Stafford. Week 1 I had Dak Prescott. Two quarterbacks first 2 weeks. Dak got hurt, obviously. Stafford had 24 fantasy points last week. But this week I'm not going quarterback. I'm staying that same game that you're with. I'm going Dalvin Cook. He had 6 carries last week for 17 yards. He let his fantasy owners down. He had 6 fantasy points in PPR format. The week prior against Green Bay, he did have 20 carries for 90 yards, but no touchdowns. So this week, I think a huge week from Dalvin Cook. I'm thinking over 150 total yards, catching and rushing. And I think he scores at least 1 touchdown, if not 2. I'm going Dalvin Cook as my stud of the week.
Um,
Go ahead.
really quick though, I wanted to address something really quick and get your take on it because the story came out this week. It has nothing to do with fantasy football, but is a huge story in the sports world. It's which is the Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka,
Mm.
who's got suspended for a year. I wanted to get your thoughts on it really quick. What's your take on this whole situation with him?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't read a lot about it. Obviously, some situation where he was messing with somebody within the organization. I don't know if they have some type of guidelines within their organization where people can't mess with each other. I don't know enough about the story, but what I will say is it's unfortunate for the Boston Celtics, um, because I think that guy was a very good head coach last season for them. Obviously, they got to the finals, and I think this hurts them. I mean, they had a great offseason before this happened. They added nice little pieces. And now you look at them and you say to yourself, man, our head coach is out. And that's tough. That's really tough. Um, but hopefully they can shake back.
Do you agree with the decision of suspending him for the entire year?
I mean, like I said, I don't know enough about. I know he was messing with somebody. I don't know what their guidelines are. I didn't read up on it. I should have maybe read up on it. And then you put me on the spot right now. If that would have been a topic, I could have done a little bit more research. I do know that he's suspended for the year, and like I said, that's unfortunate. I just don't know enough about the topic to say that I should say yes, he should be suspended for the year. That does seem
Uh,
real harsh to me because a whole year for having a situation with a lady, I don't know. That's his personal business. But like I said, I don't know, the Boston Celtics guidelines and rules
uh,
behind the
I mean,
situation.
so the Celtics guidelines, obviously, you can't, it's violating team rules and policy. They got the strict policy behind that. But as far as the suspension goes, I don't agree with it, man. I don't think he should have been suspended for a year because Ron Artest, the fight
That's a
in the
fact.
palace, he got suspended for a year, and he wasn't breaking no rules or laws. This was it was a relationship between two grown adults,
Facts.
and I feel like they shouldn't have put that information and leaked it out like that because, like, if somebody's not part uh of an association no more, you're not gonna say, okay, this person's not part of the company because he did this. They just said, hey, we just relieved this person of their duties, or you could just fire him and have us speculate. But I just don't agree with the decision, and I think the Celtics went with it the wrong way. They had an entire press conference over it,
Well,
and
well,
they
well, 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 I'll say this, Keo. I do disagree with that. I do disagree with that because had they had they fired him or even suspended him for, let's just say, I don't know, 10 games. Let's just say that. The people would have wanted to know why was he let go. If he especially was fired, coming off of an NBA Finals trip. Yes, they didn't win, but they got there. And to fire him, there's no way that would have set well with the public. People would have been going crazy over that. Boston Celtics fans would have been going crazy. They would have wanted to know why he was fired or let go of his duties. So I think it would have came out eventually. So I think Boston just jumped in front of it. Now, granted, like you said, it's two grown adults. They are. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know their policy, but I think they had to say something because that wouldn't have flew with
ev-
the media and the fans.
everybody, and with that being said, I'm just gonna end it off this. I'm pretty sure you guys gonna cover it on the MBS show. But with that being said, is who the hell would cheat on Nia Long? That's it, man. Who would cheat on her, man? but yeah, let's wrap this up and as we get ready for some football later today.
Well, let's get to our shout outs, big
Yo,
dog.
shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that continues to support the brand. Like I said earlier in the our past show, oh my God, Q. Um, we cracked over 900 subscribers already on this channel. So shout out to everybody that continues support. We getting close to that 1,000, man. But so yeah, definitely shout out to everybody, and make sure you go check out all the battle rap sports content and follow us on all social media platforms, man. And we'll see you guys later this week.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Staying lit. Shout out to Bumpy West, Q, and everybody hit me up for my dog BP. All y'all, man. Shout out to y'all for sending y'all questions. My girl Rail hit me up, asked a question. Y'all crazy. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. The numbers are going up, man. The numbers are going up. Shout out to my dog Keo, man. He been putting in a lot of work. I'm waiting to see when he comes back to the Nothing But Sports show. He been ducking and dodging, yo. He been ducking and dodging. I'm outside, Keo.
Oh God.
What are we doing? What are we doing? With that being said, though, look, if you lose today, you have nobody but to blame but yourself. But if you win, like Drake said, man, thank us later. We out. Peace.